Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this RGL.gg Week 1 matchup for RGL Invite Highlander. We got Pop Your Pipes versus Order of the White Lotus, and it's going to be curious what we see out here tonight on PL Upward. Is the Avatar going to come out and just devastate everybody, or we're going to see some action coming out here from our demo man on the other side? I'm Sigifu, joined out here with the man who needs no introduction, Vox Day, to my side, as well as Dolphin behind the scenes. How you doing out here, Vox Day?
I'm doing great. We were just talking before how long it's been since we casted together, and I mean this is the dream team. This is the dream matchup we've got going on. I'm super hyped for this one.
I am hyped. Yeah, I mean, it's been we are the original crew, right? Like back in the day, I think even like back before RGL was a thing, we were doing some casting for
Yeah.
Highlander. It's a long time. I mean, it's been a long time since since I've casted as well. I've taken a little bit of a break. You know, running a league turns out incredibly time consuming. So, but I'm glad to be able to get some time to watch these teams because we have a really exciting invite season come up here. The Highlander scene has been absolutely phenomenal with the competition at the highest level, both in invite and advanced. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these teams tonight. And I mean, you haven't been. So how much have you been keeping track of the scene in the RGL side of things recently?
Not too much, honestly. You know, I think I've watched a couple of games, not too much Highlander. I've actually probably been paying more attention to seven like Prolander.
Hmm.
But you know, I catch some of it because obviously I have friends that compete, and so I hear players, I hear about teams, and I still recognize quite a few names. So I'm excited for this matchup off of some of that name recognition too.
Yeah, I mean, we got Daffodil. That's one of our names we recognize. That's one of our Sixes head admin going on there. Actually, then Michael Lele is, was he in here? Is he not? He's not in here right now. I guess they have Freelander on.
I see him.
Oh, wait, where is he?
He's
Oh,
on
on
OWL right now.
Heavy. They got the two.
Yeah.
They got the two admins in the same team. That's not allowed. They
Yeah,
got
this is nepotism. It's scripted match, guys.
That is how this happens. Yeah, I mean, that's what's cool is you just get to see, you know, some of the old blood that's been around here for a while. I mean, like Moose in a suit. I mean, like pretty much like a lot of people on the Order of the White Lotus are people that have been around for a while. But then on Pop Your Pipes, I mean, it's also kind of the same way, but you see a few new faces coming in there. So I'm kind of curious to see, you know, which of these teams are going to be coming out on top. But, you know, I was talking about how the invite teams this season, one of the things that's kind of been a problem in some of our leagues in the past is that we've had an issue with getting invite teams into invite. Like it turns out sometimes teams want to sandbag rather than play at their level. I don't know. It's a crazy thing.
I've never
And
heard of that before.
I know, and we still have that problem a little bit with sixes where, you know, teams may not want to play at the level they should. But Highland has been really exciting over the last couple seasons. I don't know if you know, there was a forum thread where people were upset about not getting into advance. Like they're upset about not being placed high enough. And I think that is amazing. Like I think that's so cool that the culture of Highlander has shifted to be so competitive that they are upset that they don't get to play against the best competition they can play against. And that's exactly what you want to see out of teams. And hopefully that's what we're going to be seeing tonight out of these two teams as we have a huge season going on right here. I think it's somewhere around double or like somewhere around double the amount of teams since last season. So I'm very looking forward to what this season, I should really know this off the top of my head, season 6 is going to bring.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make it really exciting. It's kind of interesting, like you said, the competition is back and how many teams have formed. I've got, like I said, I've got friends of mine who are competing, people that I haven't spoken to in ages, and then all of a sudden I see them scrimming, I see them in TF2. It's like, oh wow, it has been so long. Players in this server as well. Like I don't remember. I don't know if Freelander has like been on a team. I know he's ringing today, but that's a name I know used to compete a lot and then kind of stopped really competing at a higher level, and then still played the game, but now is back in. So how can I forget Giraffe too? You know, like Giraffe is an OG. That's a name that has been around probably since you were playing Highlander too, right?
I enjoy it that you in that statement was just like a very, I don't know how I should interpret that, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these
I'm
guys.
a TF2 boomer too, all right?
This is true. I'm an OG, all right? Season 3, UGC, Defrosted Tuna Fish, My team finished in platinum on a 16-game season, 16-week season. It was
Oh
crazy.
my God.
That's OG back in the day, and I don't know how many of those guys are around from then, like I am. But yeah, a lot of these guys are names that we've seen before. But let's take a rundown of the rosters here tonight and give some appreciation to what we're going to be seeing here. So I will start us off here, and I'll go down. Pop your pipes. Some Pop Your Pipes got Lex on Scout, Freelander on Soldier, Joey is going to be on Pyro, Tacos on the Demo Man, Guy is my guy on Heavy, Lasky on Engineer, Moose in a suit is going to be wearing that Medic's cape, Markers on Sniper the Long Time, and Proton is going to be the Nucleus on the Spy class. Who we got over on the Order of the White Lotus, Vox Day?
On Scout, we're gonna have Poseidon, Daffodil, who we mentioned before, Division Admin on Soldier, Melon on Pyro, Giraffe on Demo, Civ is gonna be playing Heavy, Necto on Engineer, DZ Creeper grabbing the medic slot, Fallen Lord or Fallen Gord, however he's calling himself these days, on Sniper, and then Micah Lele on Spy. So a really powerful roster there.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see, what we're going to be seeing here tonight. I mean, we're this is the match server or the scrim server that Lotus was using beforehand, and they actually ended up losing in the pregame. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to be able to do here. We do have 18 in the server. Sorry for the delay right now. It's wouldn't be Highlander started the season if we didn't have a delay with 18 people in the server somehow.
Yeah, I think Fallen's in spectate, so hopefully he'll just be joining up on a team real quick and we'll get started.
Yeah, there's actually another person in spec, so I'm not exactly sure what these teams are trying to sort out. Do I even have chat up here? Oh, I guess I do have chat. It's I guess I close it when I play games just to spare myself from being distracted of the trash talking going on in there. But doesn't seem like anything's moving right now. But hopefully this game will get moving. But we're on PL Upward here. It is a fan favorite. I mean, I think a lot of people. It's a good map. PL Upward's one of those maps that's kind of rare in inside of Highlander, where it really is a map that you can defend every point truly.
Yeah, first is really the only point where you can make the case that it is a throwaway, but I've absolutely seen more matches than I can count where teams just get stonewalled on first. So it's not a throwaway in the same sense of, let's say, something like Swiftwater, where literally at the slightest bit of pressure, like you've already set up in the tunnel because that it doesn't mean anything. So we're going to see some sacks over the top, obviously, from the offense. See if they can force the medic, see if they can get the gun. And depending on what happens, defense will decide to back out or stay in. But it's absolutely a point or a map where all points are viable.
Yeah, and the big thing that you're going to be have to watching inside of this map is that you can really run the table pretty quickly from point to point. I mean, that's true in a lot of payload, but especially inside of Upward. Really, the only point that you can kind of slow down a mistake is maybe on the third point. There's that long three-way ramp where it's kind of pushing you backwards. But the big thing you really got to look out for here is transitions. I say it every single cast I do of an Upward or of a payload map. But it really is going to be critical. So that's the big thing is it's trying to figure out like how much time can you milk out of a point for staying in versus, how do you just give up the point? So, if you lose a few players on that first point, do you back up for a stronger second hold, or do you try to stay in and kind of risk it? Because if you mess up on that first point, you lose hill on the second point. And once you lose hill, that is a really tough position to fight out from when you have to fight out from your own spawn. And so, that's one of the interesting things that we're going to have to see, from these teams is how are they going to handle the pressure that gets put on from them every point? When are they going to be looking to transition? And it's just like kind of one of those little mini games that you can watch as a viewer and kind of keep track of is where's everybody playing and what are they going to do next when it comes to pushing out or trying to stay in, because every decision can potentially lose you the game inside a payload because it's so momentum based.
Yeah, and not only on defense, too. I mean, those transitions are important on offense. You see teams sometimes get a little ahead of themselves. They're about to cap the point, and then too many people rush forward, and they can completely kill some of the momentum they have where they could just steamroll first point into second or second into third, something like that. So Or, you know, we see teams cap and then just take forever to start to move up, and they lose some of that momentum. So it's important on both sides of the court. As I heard one ready up sound, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. But I kind of curious to know, are there any players you're looking out for, or a prediction that you have in terms of for these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, players to look out for. Fallen is obviously, I mean, huge. He's, from what I've known him to be, is a top sniper, one of the top 3, top 5 snipers inside of Highlander. I definitely would be looking out for him to have a big game. Giraffe is, when I play with him, the one thing I really liked about Giraffe is that he had a really high tempo, which I really appreciate out of a demo man. I think that's one of the things that can be underappreciated inside of a Highlander demo man, is that he's there to, you know, get space for your team, to create space for your team, to push off of when you're on offense. And so I definitely am going to be curious to see if he's going to kind of hold that style that I've known him for. On the other side, I guess definitely, I mean, Marker's long time sniper. You know, he's kind of been like kind of that middle tier. Like he kind of sometimes he can peak himself up to that upper tier, but definitely a very consistent long term kind of the you know, mid table invite sniper. Definitely be curious to see what he's going to be able to do against Fallen. And looks like we're finally going live, as well as I think Proton on Spy. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to be doing as well. But this is it. We're finally readied up here, as this is going to be, again, the week 1 matchup of Pop Your Pipes, starting out on blue against Order of the White Lotus on red. And we're going to see how Lotus is going to get set up on this first point.
Yeah, so, you know, just real quickly, too, I was thinking about this Markers and Fallen matchup, and I think that's going to be, like, really the focal point of this, because Fallen's skill ceiling is, I think, definitely higher than Markers, but he can be really inconsistent, so it's going to be up to Markers to be at that level, because I think that can decide a lot. But one other player too to look out for is Lex. That's probably a little bit of a more old school name. Was a really good scout. I don't know how much he's been playing recently. I know scout doesn't really get too much love on payload maps, but still a player to look out for. But I mean, we really do just have a standard defense right now from Owl, with the gun halfway towards the hill. And I don't know, we'll look to see how the sack waves go for Pop Your Pipes.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this gun is that because it's a little bit further back, it'll challenge anybody who jumps on top of Playground, which is directly above DZ Creeper. Here we come in with Tacos with the jump in, getting denied, but that will allow Proton actually timed his push in while that jump was coming in, and that actually stopped the Pyro from flaming, catching Proton, and he's going to go back. He's going to take down the teleporter, and that's going to just make it that much harder for players on these respawns to be able to get back up. And it seems like a small thing, but it's actually really huge on this first point.
Yeah, every pick now for Pop Your Pipes just means they have an even better chance of picking up the point, and also just the fact that Proton is behind enemy lines, he can wait as long as he wants before he can get a sap on that gun. But we do have a lot of picks going for OWL. It's not too meaningful right now, obviously, because their medic hasn't advanced, and they're just still kind of, I guess, in the sack wave. But eventually you do just need to bite the bullet and go out, because you can't just sit here until you get a pick.
I mean, when it comes to the first point of Upward, you're basically playing on even ground. Like, as long as you can take down the gun, and you win the fight, or you have even numbers after the fight, like, you should win the fight because you're fighting from high ground. You're coming up from that high side. Like, obviously, you'd like to get a shot, take down Fallen. Obviously, that'd be a really big pick. Here comes in Proton. He's going to get spotted. He saps the gun. Here comes in Tacos with that overcharge. Takes down the gun right away. It's going to be a trade out here. 40% better for DZ Creeper as Joey trying to push him back, not allow them to take ground, as they are down 2 on offense, but they're going to have that faster respawn. Lex on top of Playground as Markers takes down DZ Creeper. So there's no medic here for the defense, but they are going to try to hold in. Civ still on Playground. Only 3 players alive. They stuffed them, but how long can they hold on without heals?
Yeah, I think a gun looked like it was coming up from Necto, but he's grabbed it and he's moved all the way back, and it looks like the entire team will too. They did have opportunity if they wanted to stay in there, but I think you had a long enough first hold. It's probably better to have a really strong second. You know, we were talking about those transitions in pregame. So this is going to work out better long run, even if they could have grabbed maybe another 30 seconds on first.
You can see they're going to have their Octopus set up here on top of you can see your dispenser. Did DZ Creeper actually took a body shot of some sort down to 50 HP. Is able to get that dispenser to heal himself back up. So he'll be just fine as Freelander as well as Guy pushing up the hill with Tacos. They're going to take down Michael Lele, so no spy here as Proton is getting ready for a sap. A lot of damage down onto the scout. The sap is going to come in. Is anything going to follow it up? The gun's going to stay alive. The banner comes out. The gun's still up, but Lotus is falling back.
Yeah, this is a really strong take. Ubers are even now. DZ Creeper just got in the nick of time, but we'll see if they choose to use it aggressively, if they want to hold it. DZ Creeper might be in a position where he's going to get forced. They're going to use this Uber. I don't know. Maybe holding on to it is a little too greedy because you're probably getting another Uber by the time they get to a point on third. But really get nothing out of the Uber, and this should be Pop Your Pipes taking second very quickly after that kind of long first take. So they're kind of back on track, and third is really going to be where this where the rubber meets the road in terms of the time they set.
Yeah, they're going to come down. It is going to be 3 minutes and 25 seconds through the first 2 points. Sorry about our HUD. We're having a little bit of weird issues that we don't normally have with our Highlander HUD tonight. So apologies for that. We'll keep you up to date as they move on to the third point. But I think Pop Your Pipes did a really good job where they aggressed, and it actually scared Lotus. Lotus thought they had Uber charge, and I think that kind of pushed them back. Fallen does go down here, so no sniper for 20 seconds, and I gotta imagine Pop Your Pipes is gonna start peeking very aggressively off that.
Yeah, this is where you have to recognize that and try to get in different position. But at the same time, the Uber comes in. DZ at 150, so this was a targeted use, wasn't forced out by anything. They get a couple of picks, but at the end of the day, they're not able to find anything onto Moose, so there's huge Uber ad for Pop Your Pipes, and it looks like they want to take that advantage right now. Moose uses a little early, but this gun hopefully should go down. The Wrangler is helping keep it up. They're actually focusing on players, but they didn't get any down. So this Uber not working out too well, but the post Uber going the way of Pop Your Pipes. They're looking really solid. Necto grabs his gun, and that should be third.
Yeah, they did a good job focusing the cart, focusing down the players. Like you said, they left the gun up, but fortunately they were able to take down the players to make it worthwhile here. Is they're going to blaze through that next point. It's got to be like, what, 60 seconds? And DZ Creeper, oh my god, so close. He was able to grab a med pack, but 2 rockets directly on top of him as Freelander jumping up again, gets some beautiful rocket directly at his feet, and down he goes. But Civ, the civilization is going to fall down beneath as Tacos is going up there. They are taking control of upper. 4 minutes and 47 seconds through the third point. They're coming into this final one, 94%. The big thing is they don't want to pop too early here. Want to get your cart into the position for that final push. So we'll see what they're going to do as DZ Creeper's back up, and they have that huge Uber charge.
That pick from Freelander isn't just good because it takes the medic, but it also denies Owl the chance to set up in upper, which is the strongest position that you can hold as a defense. Civ gets a couple of kills before going down. The Uber comes from lower. Joey just WM1 right towards the spawn. He's gonna find a kill. There are 3 players down right now for the defense. If they can't find that gun quick, they might not be able to cap, but the NG goes down. Pop Your Pipes has a real chance to close this first half out right now.
Yeah, only 4 players alive for the defense. A couple respawns going up. The gun is going to go down here quickly with no engineer. Melon is beneath. Civ underneath. He's in that really cheeky position. He's going to get 1 kill. Proton is going to be able to take him down. Melon still up underneath, and here comes the Demoman Draft. Got some stickies down, but it's not going to matter as so many players falling for the offense. What looked like a secured victory is going to be a solid defense coming out here from the White Lotus.
As we say that, yeah, Freelander found a couple. I thought maybe there's a chance there. And this is still not a great position for Owl, of course, because of how long those respawns are going to take to come in. So it's still going to come down to some individual heroics. They're playing this really well, Pop Your Pipes, because they're just flooding, making sure that they're not giving individual fights. But still, there's still picks going in the favor of Owl. How are they holding this? This is insane. Oh, and fallen. The fadeaway.
Right as the medic was trying to go, I mean, that was maybe a little bit too aggressive. Maybe, we should have seen Moose in the suit go to underneath. But, I mean, it's just a great job. I mean, the demo, basically what happened there, we had Michael Lele on Spy, coming in for a late stat, as well as Daffodil with the high bomb onto the cart. You can sink your rockets up into there, and he just did so much damage. But, Pop Your Pipes did a good job. They had their heavy with the Fist of Steel out. I mean, that's what you want to do. as Proton will take down the scout in main, but you can see Lotus is back up in position. Civ underneath, level 3 gun is back up. So this is back to the basics here for Pop Your Pipes.
And Micah just continues to get picks. That's going to be really important. He's a pretty solid spy from what I've seen, but he's come up really clutch on this last point multiple times. And here's the other spy getting a frag too onto Civ. And what's great for Owl as well is they've been able to reclaim control of upper, which almost kind of nullifies everything Pop Your Pipes have done to this point on this last take. But the Uber is forced out of DZ Creeper, giving advantage over to Pop Your Pipes. You just got to make sure that Moose stays alive and continues to heal, and you know that's going to be their next best chance to cap this.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens there. Moose and Su now at a 30% advantage, but again, they have to not only take over upper, they have to then take out the gun as well. And that's one of the things is the dispenser is still up, blocking that stairwell. That's one of the things, you know, Freelander, you want to coordinate with your soldier to be able to shoot that down. But DZ Creeper is completely alone right now. It's going to go down to half HP, drops out. It's just Giraffe alone in this upper area. He does have some sticky traps up there. Freelander is getting some shots onto the sniper as well as the engineer, both going down incredibly low.
Moose.
But Moose goes down to Daff, making a flank from behind.
Yeah, that DZ wasn't able to escape when he dropped lower. And, you know, okay, you know, that's a good position for Pop Your Pipes, but Daffodil making a huge play to find the enemy medic. So things just continue to get neutralized. And, I mean, credit to Owl for not giving up when the cart was just there. They went for the, you know, they went for the sacks. They were able to pull up a solid defense. If they had just kind of given up, obviously we would have this would have been over like 3 minutes ago. So I'm impressed so far with how they've handled this last defense.
Yeah, the big thing here I'd love to see the Pop Your Pipes do is focus down that gun a little bit more. It seems like an afterthought, you know, where they're kind of getting it afterwards. They're not taking down the dispenser, which is down to like 1 HP right now. The gun finally does go down, but see, that now allows Pop Your Pipes, they can now funnel out into the open area. Look at Lex can get on cart and he's not taking instant damage from the sentry gun. You can have people flood through main like Tacos is right now. Here comes out the Uber charge. What can they do with it? Civ down to like 100 HP. He's going to go down on the cart, but they're directly above as the gun is on a mini sentry up here. Melon's going to go for a lower plate, trying to air blast them down. Oh, it's so close. They're going to come up for the defense. Here comes in Daft late. He's going to get one guy now onto the cart. Only 3 players left alive. Melon needs a miracle here underneath. He's going to take Proton and push him back. That's going to allow the cart to go backwards. Moose and the Su goes down. Proton, Melon holding out just long enough. It's just 2 on the cart. They finally will get it down. 9 minutes and 59 seconds. And that is not what Pop Your Pipes wanted to see after such a fast start.
Well, I mean, it's under 10 minutes, right? there's something.
It's a C minus, but it's still a C.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd be curious, and maybe I'll have to look it up in a second, but what their time was after they capped third, I can't remember. I think it was somewhere in the 4 to 5 minute range, I think closer to 5. And just that last take, they were so close for so long. Really, credit goes to Owl. I don't necessarily think Pop Your Pipes did anything blatantly wrong when they were going wave after wave to try to get it when the cart was so close. So I think it just comes up to the players on Owl, just the fact that they were able to clear the cart so many times. They really bought their team a chance, because if it had gotten capped right away, I really think we would be looking at Pop Your Pipes basically being up 1-0 at that point.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, this is very doable for Pop Your Pipes to be able to hold on this time, but they're going to need to be able to play better than they did in that final push. So we'll see what they do. And losing your scout early on here, that's not going to really help you out. Proton is in an aggressive position, scouting on Spy. He's going to get spotted and drop off here. As no suicide wave for Lotus out the gate, but Proton, he's going to get tracked down. Melon, just heat-seeking Pyro, takes him down. And he's going to get pushed into the pit. Down goes the heavy, but just some early trades out here. We'll see if Lotus is going to work off that.
Yeah, they've gotten the cart up to a decent point that if you do want to commit your medic, you have a really solid chance at capping it in the fray, or at least getting it really close. But I am interested to see how Owl are going to do this.
No, Micah! He
Oh,
snuck in. I was like, what is he doing there? You know, he's not going, and he just ran straight through. Perfect timing, got the backstab. Here comes out the big uber charge. They're picking up frags. The gun's gonna get pulled back here. Is the engineer alive? No, he is. Lasky, where's Lasky? He's gone. He's not even there anymore. He grabbed his, he decided to keep his dispenser over his gun, which is an interesting choice. We'll see if that works out for him. But now Tacos is gonna try to connect back up, but they've already lost this hill. I don't know if they're gonna be able to take it back.
Guy, it's gonna really okay. Guy did a good job of denying the bomb of Daffodil early on, and Micah unable to get a pick. So looks like they have a good chance to hold second. The gun is obviously in a little bit more of a passive spot. I think if they'd gone for the octopus hold, it would have gotten taken out almost immediately. But huge pick from Fallen Lord taking down markers. This is a long sight line, and when you have to deal with a sniper on the defensive side, it becomes a lot more dangerous to bring your medic forward. But you can see DZ Creeper is already pushed up around that corner, and they're already working on the gun with an Uber.
Yeah, 80%, 85% here from Moose, and so they're going to back up. Fallen in the just clinical position here, being able to take down anybody. 5 players on the defense there. They're going to have overcharge ready. They might try to contest this. Moose going down really low, and they're just going to hold off. I mean, they had, you know, respawns up in 5 seconds. They could have tried maybe, but they are going to just opt for a very strong third hold, which is not the worst, but it's going to give White Lotus a chance to be able to come back here because it's so long before they can do anything, and down goes markers.
Yeah, I think what's important here is the team buying enough time for Lasky to get a gun set up. He's already working on the gun, and it's going to be a little while before the cart comes in, but DZ is almost at 80%, and with a level 1 dispenser, a level 1 gun, it might take a while before you have a really solid defense there from the engineer. So it might be opportunity for Owl to take this fight before the defense is really ready to go.
And I'm not loving this play out of Freelander. He's going to play a little bit more passively, and it's allowing a lot of free capture time to get up here rather than him playing directly above the cart on balcony. But here we go. Uber charge is going to be out. It's going to be much better for the red side, about 50%. But they're not going to... It's really just a trade to get the Ubers out. And so we're going to see what kind of post-Uber fight it's going to be looking for as Freelander goes down. So that's a big pick. Daff with a huge bomb in. But he's going to get shut down. Surely, Guy's actually backing up. So... a lot of presence on the cart, but this is what happens when you play too passively on the third point. You just allow so much presence to exist on the cart, and that's exactly what's going wrong for Popular Pipes. They have no way to defend this because everybody is so far back.
Yeah, they have to really make sure this cart doesn't make it up the hill, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop Poseidon. Yep, it makes it up that next one. Are they just going to let him have the point?
Yep, they are. What are they going to do? If you don't play anybody forward, like this is why you need to have like your scout and soldier try to play aggressively if you can to be able to get that. We got Proton. He's in position. He might try to go for a play onto DZ Creeper. He's going to get spotted out, not even having a chance. But yeah, I mean, that's the downside of playing third. Like it's really hard to play out from that passive spot. But 5 minutes and 50 seconds, definitely doable. We'll see what they can do on this final point.
Yeah, already losing both their pick classes. Markers is down, which, again, Sniper has so many good places to hold on this one. Ubers do get traded out over towards upper. It's better for the defense, so DZ Creeper is going to have to back up. The picks are going the way of Popular Pipes as well. If they can deal with Civ, he's backing out. So they've done a good job at the first attempt from the offense here. They've got to hold on to this for a little over 5 minutes. And they're going to have a slight Uber ad. They have the hold that they want in upper, so this is the best possible outcome at this point for Popular Pipes, but a 5-minute hold is going to be real tough.
And so here we go. Poseidon on the cart, getting a lot of capture time. Daffodil from behind. I don't think he got spotted. Down goes the Heavy. Down goes the Pyro. And it's just Tacos left alone here with the medic in the upper area. He does get a couple frags, but here comes everybody else up the stairs. He's doing a great job defending them back, but will be taking too much damage. They do have the player advantage here on the final point, and so they're going to be able to hold on, but it's looking like they had to give up upper as a result.
And both medics got traded. DZ got sniped out by markers, and then right after Moose got picked. I didn't see from who, so both medics neutralized. Obviously, that's going to favor the offense with the longer respawn times on D. But Joey on the card, very low health. He's doing as much as he can to deny. This is just panic mode Now, this worked out for Owl earlier when they were on defense. Does Pop Your Pipes have the same luck?
I don't know if they'll be able to do it. Too much focus on the guy here. Actually, no, he's going to stay alive. Melon's going to go down the cart, reset that back up. Daffodil doing big, though. He's creating a lot of space for his team. Here comes the Lex on the cart. He gets one. DC Creeper on it. He's alone. Will he be able to stop Musa Soon with the miracle play? Lasky alone on the car with the shotgun. He gets it. Michael Lele falls into the pit. Fallen with the melee. He's going to take it down. Cart slowly rolling up here. Just Taco's alive. He's going to be just a little bit too late. And down it goes. 3 minutes and 49 seconds. It looked like they had a chance, but just not enough.
Yeah, that really, I mean, even if they weren't able to cap there was still close to 4 minutes on the clock there. So it's hard for me to say that, like, oh yeah, Pop Your Pipes, they would have had it if they had gotten that. And I really do think it comes down to their struggles of pushing less on their offensive side. So I want to pull up the logs, and I got to take a look to see how the rounds could have ended, but maybe I'm just kind of beating a dead horse at that point. But good job from Owl to close that one out.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, both soldiers are actually the ones who are top fragging in this game, which I think is kind of interesting because I'd be curious to see how many of those kills came, well, because like Daffodil was doing such a good job on offense. He was doing a lot of high bombs in order to create safe space for his team. I didn't see Freelander doing as much work on offense, and I felt like his defense was a little bit of a mixed bag at times. But obviously, what can I say when he's top fragging next to Daff and actually has more damage to Daff. Fallen sitting next right behind there with Civ at 20 kills each, but Markers is struggling this game. He's for the damage classes, he's third from the bottom, really. So this is he's really going to need to step it up in the next half.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the SVS, but what I first noticed was Daff actually did a lot of work. He took Markers down 7 times, and when you're getting bombed that much on Sniper, it can definitely be a tilter because you're just hoping, like, can someone deny the bomb? Can your heavy? Can your pyro? Obviously, they're doing as much as they can to try to keep their medic alive. So it can be frustrating when you're kind of lower in the pecking order and their soldier is just continually getting to you. So I wonder what they can do to try to deny Daff so much space. But like you said, both soldiers kind of doing work in that one.
Yeah, also, random fact is that DZ Creeper, the lowest fragging, it's an engineer's, DZ Creeper fragged more than the other engineer.
Oh, wow. How? I want to see who he killed. Let's see. He grabbed...
Two kills on Fallen, or
Freelander. Yeah. One on the Pyro, one on the NG.
And one on the Spy.
Oh, Spy, too. I mean, credit. Absolutely credit when it gets you a medic that can do both, right? I think that's what they say.
Why not both? I mean, to be fair, this is kind of and I felt like Lasky on Engineer, I mean, he was struggling on defense to get good footholds in. I mean, when they got backed up on the second point, I was always in the favor. I mean, this is not a shot at, like, there's only one way to do something correctly. But my personal preference when I played upward is, like, if we lost second so badly that we're playing out from our balcony, and we don't like have a good foothold, like we're kind of being hit, we're kind of on the back heel. That's when I just go on third point. I just set up right away. Like, I don't wait. I don't take any time. I just set up right away. But the third point failure from Pop Your Pipes, I think, was more from the flank classes, lack of control of the cart area. Because if you let them get up for free, and this is the same, Daff did the same thing. Daff was also playing a little bit further back on defense. It's just, that's one of the things that, like, bugs me the most as an engineer. Because engineer, I always had to play back, and I would just be like, why are we giving up free cart time? Like, it would be my biggest pet peeve. Is like, why is no one contesting the third point? Because that's, as an engineer main, your job is to die and push the cart. Like, if you get any kills on offense, great, but your job is to push the cart. Like, that is your one job to do. And a good soldier main will make your life hell. And if the other soldier is not making your life hell, then they're not being a good soldier main oftentimes. Daff obviously was pressuring the other sniper a lot, so he was able to do that. And both these guys were getting frags, but it's just kind of curious to see, what these teams are going to be able to turn about here in the final point. I'm guessing Pop Your Pipes also is going to be talking about what do they need to do to kind of fix their final push, right, at the end of the day, because that's really what did them in more than anything else.
Yeah, for sure. And just more on that kind of what to do on second, or sorry, on third when you're on defense. I mean, for people in the chat, I'm sure a lot of people play TF2 competitively or, Highlander or whatever format it might be. But I mean, when you think about it, when the defense on third is pushed up, and a lot of my point of view is from sniper because that's what I played, it can be so frustrating when you just have to sit in in the house on offense because the sniper is denying so much room because you can't even walk out the big door, and their flank is playing on the roller coaster because everyone can play so far forward that they're denying all that space too, and that's ultimately what hurt that defense. Just like you said, they're playing so far back, you grant them so much space. What you want is your sniper forward so he can deny either in the entire left side or the kind of I don't want to call it a choke point, but I guess I'll call it the choke point on the right side when you're defending. So that's kind of one of the failures there. Hopefully things can get tweaked a bit. Pop Your Pipes did look really solid, and I think they have a good chance to bring this back to a 1-1 and bring us to an overtime half, but it's going to be those types of things that they need to fix up.
Yeah, the other big thing I kind of talked about it, is I would love to see Pop Your Pipes just a little bit more focus on allowing their spy to be able to get in, to focus down the gun for those pushes on to last. I think that's going to be big for them. On defense, I mean, overall, it's kind of hard to speak. Besides the third point where they, kind of got rolled over on the second point where they got rolled over, and then the third point they got rolled over because of their, a little bit their holding style. The fourth point, it seemed like it was a lot of like they were doing a decent job holding, but it was just Daff was creating so much space and so many problems behind enemy lines for the team. Especially like that's one of the things where I always remember like a good soldier who knows how to do like fast bombs can like go faster than the gun can shoot them, right? So they can actually get like around the gun to cause chaos in that way to get up to like balcony and stuff like that. Because that's one of the ones where it's like that gun should cover balcony, but like you can get to angles where it doesn't cover you, and you can kind of create space like that. So I'm just really curious to see what adjustments we're going to see. From the defensive side of Pop Your Pipes and also from their offense, because they definitely are not out of this game. This is a very winnable game for them. It just, can they make those needed adjustments?
Yeah, for sure. And I think not to focus solely on Pop Your Pipes, I guess kind of talking about them more because the onus is on them. They really do need to make those adjustments if we want to see another half. But it's just, I don't want to call them small things, but it's just those couple of things. You can gain another 2 minutes, let's say, on your defense. And their offense was really solid. They stumbled a bit at the end there. We all know how last points on TF2 can go just in general, whether it be in pubs or any of the various competitive modes. So, it happens from time to time. So their offense, if they can replicate first through third, and remember, they weren't too great on first either. It took them a little bit. If they can fix that up, I think they have a really good chance at bringing us to another.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is that Michael Lele, he actually the medic. So Michael Lele actually had the most picks tied with markers for 4 onto Moose in a suit. I mean, if they're able to help out their medic a little bit more, I mean, Moose got picked 7 times by the spy and sniper. And I feel like that was a lot of the openings. Like in that first point we talked about, like that was Michael Lele. Like he just walked in and just backstabbed Moose. Like there was literally, that's all it was. And so it's just like one of these things where, if Moose has a little bit of a better round against these pick classes, if he just dies just a few times less, because he only died 3 more times than DZ Creeper. So it wasn't like he had like a drastically bad game. It's just those few little moments where it's like the picks are just like a little bit more important, of when they happen. It felt like that was happening just a little bit more to Moose. That allowed White Lotus to come in there. But I mean, White Lotus, as you said, like they're not perfect. They're not having a perfect game. It looks like are we in a pause or am I dead?
No, it looks like it's paused. So maybe that means the match did go live, but then a quick pause.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, hopefully it's not any kind of server death or anything like that.
All right, so let's you know what I think we need to do now, Vox, is the age-old. Maybe we should do like a age-old rate the cosmetics.
Oh, okay. Well, let me start looking around. You know who I want to look at? I'm gonna go look at Freelander, see what Freelander is rocking, if I can find him on the map.
All right, how about,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How about this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we look at class by class, and then we'll determine who's the better looking of the class.
I like that. I like that idea. All right, we'll have to start with scouts though. It's only natural.
It's only natural. All right, so let's see who we. How do I get to my scouts? So there's Lotus. So Poseidon is inside of blue spawn here. All right, so let's see. So Poseidon, he's got a. I like this. He's got a. I enjoy the COVID mask. He's thinking about the thought. He's being thoughtful to other people. I appreciate that. That's if you're not wearing a mask when you're going out in public, you're selfish. Let me just put that out there. And this is this is a beautiful mask going on there. We have a Max hat, which that's old school right there. That's and it's painted black too. That's sick.
Yeah, I respect clipping. I'm one of those people that really enjoys really bad looking. I don't want to say that. I'm not trying to say that Poseidon looks bad, but obviously the clipping in there isn't great. But I'm always a fan of that kind of weird looking stuff.
I think he's really going for the clipping. Like that's really got to be there. He's looking for the max tooth. It's like what's the is that the team captain? Is that the name of that hat?
I don't think it's the team captain.
Patriot Peak. That's the
Patriots Peak. Oh yeah.
So there's that. All right, let's find. Let's see. Where's the other scout
Lex
here?
is over on first.
On first. Now. Oh, hey, we're back live. Okay, we should be live here. They were switching mumbles. So let's look at Lex at least until I gotta make this call because we spent so much time on the other one.
Yeah.
Where is he? I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Okay. Neon green scout with the mask as well. They're both being thoughtful, right? I like this.
Yeah.
And,
I'm feeling Poseidon more, and here's why. For Poseidon, that's like a high grade mask. That's like I'm taking this really seriously. Like I want to make sure that everyone's safe. For Lex, it's nice. That's the kind of mask. If I'm going out in the house, that's something that I would wear. But I'm not ready for the apocalypse, and Poseidon looks like he is.
That's fair. I agree. Let's give it to Poseidon for the for it. Sorry about that delay. It sounds like the teams had a kind of a switch up where they're at, but they are good to go now here as we're into the second round of the first week. Pop Your Pipes versus the Order of the White Lotus, which I'm actually watching through Avatar right now. So good. Like I've watched it before. So good. Can I just say that? But we got Pop Your Pipes here on defense. They're going to need to be winning this round to take it into an overtime round. So we'll see what they're able to do here. As it looks like Proton with a little spy crab to start out the game.
Oh, I think that's good luck. If you're able to hit the... I guess we should have seen how many attempts it took, but hitting the spy crab in the beginning, that's just a blessing on your team, for sure.
So we'll see what they're able to do. 10 seconds ticking down here. It was a little bit interesting last time. White Lotus didn't go for a suicide wave, so I imagine they will not be going for one again. As pretty standard gun, a little bit more forward than the last gun from the other side. Still should cover upper, but it's a little bit safer from getting spammed out from like sniper fire and stuff like that, which is good in its own way. Michael Lele looks like he's going to go for a different route this time. He's not going to go for the same stab, but he did get spotted picking up that ammo. And so they know he's around there. But down goes Guy. It's no heavy here from Fallen taking him out.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. 3 did go in the favor of Pop Your Pipes, but because those respawns are so close, not like it matters all too much. Finding the heavy, there's just so much denial the heavy can cause on top. Oh, Micah gets the backstab onto Moose, and there it is. That should be first point for Owls. Easy.
Easy peasy. And Lasky again keeping his dispenser rather than the gun. I guess he can get the rebuild the gun pretty quickly if you have a level 3 dispenser with full ammo. So I can see that idea. It's a bit of a passive dispenser rather than being forward up on the hill. It kind of forces your team to play in an awkward position if they want to get heals. Here comes out the Moose in the suit. Here comes in. Looks like, again, they're playing from the same spot, that same lower area, and they can't do it. Freelander can jump in. A lot of damage onto DZ Creeper. Does finish him off. And that is going to open it up here potentially for Pop Your Pipes, though they are only 5 alive.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of flirting with the idea. Where do they want to go? You can see no one's left, either towards the point or towards third. So this could be really bad, actually, because look at this. Daff jumped in behind. They waited so long. They couldn't decide. Now Daff gets a pick onto Moose. And yeah, that's a mistake here. I've been watching a lot of chess on Twitch. The chess meta is upon us, and I gotta say, guys, that's a blunder. You just blundered your queen.
Is exactly what you now want to do. I mean, that's just, they have to back out from second, but then they don't try to go for a partial. Keep going, playing way too far back, and they give up that hill for free. I really think they could have fought that. Maybe had dispensed up a little bit closer, maybe might have done something for them. But look at right now. Again, this is the same issue as last time. Here comes in Daft. Big bomb in. A lot of damage on the guy, but Freelander playing in from the lower area. Finally, the scouts there as well, but they need to contest this cart. They can't let it. This is like the first hill is the most annoying one to get it up. And look at this. There's literally no one shooting at them. They're just able to walk it up for free, as Proton does at least get a pick onto the sniper.
All right, yeah, and a couple picks go their favor. Lex was doing his best to deny as long as possible, but
where are they playing? Look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry, but there's no sniper up, and everybody is back. There is no sniper up. They're all on cart. Go to the cart. You have no death from the sniper. Like, play aggressively here, Pop Your Pipes.
Yeah, Freelander tried to make something happen. He got a single pick, but he was the only one, and I think that's going to be one of the other problems. Like, we saw Lex kind of forward, but he had to back out because he was so low and low on health. Freelander then goes in. Proton gets a pick onto the card. It's something, but just with how forward Owl are on the other side, it looks like they are going to take this point. And Micah, look at him. He's hunting down Lasky right now. He followed him all the way to upper.
Proton gets a pick onto DC Creeper accidentally, as Daffodil actually killed himself trying to shoot him. Now it's the engineer on the cart alone. They need to try to stop this from getting up the hill, and they will just in time. That's huge. That's not that hill. That stops it from being in spy capture territory. Micah gets caught out as well, and they're going to be able to have a chance to redeem themselves on this third point. And looks like Freelander and the scout are going to finally go for a little bit more of an aggressive position, though Civ is going to contest him early on here. He's going to go down without support. Markers takes a headshot, is going to have to back up.
All right, yeah, Pop Your Pipes given a second chance here. The gun is only level 1. I don't think they can really fight this. They do finally bring Tacos forward. Joey trying to deny with, I think, the Scorch Shot, but get in there with your flamethrower. Your right click just launches people. You know what I mean? When you hit right click, it air blasts them, sends them off the cliff. Someone!
The engineer had no health on the cart. Big plays coming out from Moose, denying that cart capture. He got on top of it while overcharged to make sure it didn't go up while everything was being focused down. But DZ Creeper, 91% here, and they're going to just back out, give this up. They at least got a couple minutes off the clock onto this 4:21. Not a great time, but is at least redeemable, given that they were able to just shed a few more seconds off of it.
Yeah, Freelander stuck in a hard place. He manages to find Micah, so I mean, it seems kind of small that your soldier's able to stay alive, but that's a lot of area denial that you can provide from upper. Markers finding a pick onto Giraffe, so there are positive signs here for Pop Your Pipes. They are down in terms of Uber, but I think by the time DZ Creeper gets into a position to use, things should be even, and this is a solid hold from Pop Your Pipes. They just need to find the picks now.
They're finding a couple. Down goes Daffodil. That's one of the entry fraggers for the Order of the White Lotus, and so that's going to slow them down. And DZ Creeper actually had about 20 to 30% advantage, but they decided not to work with it. But here they come up now. Tacos, so close to being dropped there. Does not go down. Draft's going to get back out and alive, and they're going to lose some players here. So they got the trade out, but they weren't able to really get anything from that, and so it's going to continue to be a fight here, as it looks like Joey is just kind of spamming the middle to kind of get at it, as Micah is on top of the sentry gun. This is what I want to see out of a spy, getting ready to make a play when his team wants to push in. Melon up onto Markers, takes him down. No sniper up here for the defense.
Yeah, that's a big pick to find because a sniper, he was playing over towards the boxes and the window Moose goes down, and that's another big pick from Daffodil. He found it last half. He's gonna find it again. This is gonna prompt the push from Owl. They have a number of players up, so if just slowly but surely things fall in their favor, but Lex does a good job to trade out DZ Creeper, so that could be the stabilizer. Although things look rough for Pop Your Pipes, the fact that they're able to take out the medic means they can continue to hold this, especially with Moose now back up.
Yeah, they can try. Guys in a great position behind Daff. Straight onto the Delman. It's going to take him down now. Moose alone. He's got the shotgun. Is that the panic attack? Ubercharge saw actually up. That's going to give Moose an advantage until his body goes to the wayside. Big pick there from Fallen. Micah is up. Going to be able to take out Freelander. Maybe Guy as well. It's just going to take down the one. Gun is not back up here. Sorry, it's down to minis now. As Guy alone upstairs is holding on, but can't be for much longer as he's going down to just one hit. And that is going to be the upper hold finally given away to the Order of the White Lotus.
Yeah, Moose got the raw end of the respawn timer as well. He only spawned maybe 2 seconds ago, and this is where just it's panic time. You've got to dive in. You've got to deny as much of the cart as you can. But DZ Creeper has Uber. I think you just got to pop this on one of your players at their spawn, and then a couple should cap. But this should be the capture here. Melon is getting the job done. And, well, 708. It's beatable for sure.
Yeah, it is going to be very interesting to see what they can do with this. You know, 7-12, yeah, it's going to be close. But, you know, they had a push on the first round. I mean, they would have won it in 6 in the first round, right? So, you know, Pop Your Pipes, this is very doable for them if they can play their cards right. You know, it just seems like they just kind of struggled to recover, you know, once they kind of lose that initial hold. Once their medic goes down, they just really have that space to come back. But it's a nice job coming out from Guy, doing a good job holding that upper area with the pyro as well. But, I mean, that's one of the things is when you lose your level 3 gun, it makes it so much harder to do anything for defense because the enemy team can just walk in and do whatever they want to you, really. And it's a really nice job out of White Lotus where they took their heavy up that far right-hand side with their demo locked down. So even if spam was coming down onto the cart, it wasn't hitting their combo, right? You had to choose, do you want to kill the combo or do you want to kill the cart pushers? And that allowed them to sustain the push. Worked out really well for them, and a really nice 7-12 time here. So we'll see what Pop Your Pipes can do. Can they beat this and take it into an overtime round?
Yeah, it really, they have to find a way to mimic their first attempt at an offense. Can lightning strike twice, at least for a little bit? And for a reminder for everyone, they had a little trouble taking first, but then the struggle really came on last. Taco's jumping over the top, see if he can get anything done. Should get traded out as Freelander now jumps in as well, but I don't think he's going to find much of anything. Yeah. You know, it's not a big deal for the offense. They're just trying to see if they can create some space. But eventually, they'll need to put some pressure on the medic, on the gun, so that they can bring Moose out and pop this Uber.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Proton does behind, so he's going to be able to get to the teleporter, which is what he's going to do. You know, Freelander, Taco's back up here, pushing ahead with Guy. It looks like Fallen is on that lower side, not on Playground right now. Try and take down Guy. As Tacos does go down, so no Dylan here for another 3 seconds. And just very slow pace coming out of Pop Your Pipes, no real urgency. As you know, like, you know, I feel like you could see like a suicide wave. If you're going to sit here and spam back, like, you know, why not send 3 players in and try to get a pick on the sniper? Here comes in, Proton comes in, gets a sap onto the gun. Gun's going to go down. Here comes out Tacos finally with his Uber trait. It's going to be about 20% better for the red side draft. Trying to get some damage down, but not finding much. Great flashes coming out from Moose on the suit. Daffodil still in the top left as he's going to finally foul back, but DZ Creeper going down from a body shot of markers. Joey going through. 2 players are going to be caught behind Melon as well as Poseidon. They're going to go down eventually here and not take anybody with them. The cart's rolling up, but they don't have control of Hill currently. Draft is going to be holding this alone as the rest of his team is opting for a more passive hold. Daft, though, with the banner going into the lower side, going to try to take some pressure on that card.
Yeah, and I think the big pick, obviously, is DZ Creeper going down. It really just ruins everything for Owl because they can't forward hold. I mean, they can for a second, but you see they immediately had to go back. Proton might have a chance, gets the backstab onto Giraffe, and that should be it, especially with markers finding a headshot onto Civ. Times 3 on the cart, please. stop?
You gotta not die. Daffodil and Micah did a great job on the card. I mean, that's what's when you have a really good soldier who can sustain his life. Daff took a kill, Micah killed the other one, and that's why it's like, you know, having people who you can rely on your flank to just stall on this map is so huge. I mean, that right there, Daff's kill alone probably saved them about 30 to 40 seconds. So that, I mean, Daff and Micah, I should say, combined 30 to 40 seconds, and that could potentially be the game right there, that one play that just happened. So 4 minutes, 33 seconds left on the clock. Both teams have 100%. I'm surprised this aggression coming out of Lotus. They actually might try to re-engage here. They're trying so hard. Civ, he might catch Tacos, gets dropped in the super exchange. The cart's rolling so far forward. Micah onto the cart, gets one step, is not going to get another. The cart is still so close. They're not going to be able to defend a Civ. Oh, he's going to survive against Proton. Civ getting the better of that 1v1. He should have landed a backstab. And they're going to fall back here, but they did force up the Uber trade, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal because the amount of time it takes for that cart to roll up, they're already going to be pretty close. But still, they showed some strength there. I was kind of curious to see if they're going to try to re-engage all the way on to the second point.
Yeah, it's definitely a risky play for Owl, and luckily it works out. If they're not able to force the Uber out or they don't get many picks, that could just be disastrous because you can just get wiped. But luckily for them, they also do still have Fallen on their team on a 3K now as he finds a headshot to deny some time in the cart. And this is the defense we were talking about earlier, although Fallen does just get picked. But you had Fallen up towards the cart path, and he's denying so much space if you want to walk up the right side. And all their players are forward, and Pop Your Pipes, they can't even get the cart up at the first hill right now. Although maybe
Tacos with the 2 pipes directly as he gets backstabbed. That was so pretty, though. I just want to commend him as it's a really nice job. But look at this, no pressure on the cart now. It's going to be rolling forward because all of the explosive classes are down. That's really huge. Order of the White Lotus was doing a great job of just walking forward as soon as they killed markers, and that's what you want to see on this point. Melon's going to be coming in alone with Poseidon, going to be contesting his cart, but you can see a lot more aggression coming out of Order of the White Lotus, trying to stop the cart pressure from happening, and it's really slowing down Pop Your Pipes. 2 minutes, 44 seconds here, and it's going to be almost near perfection coming out of Pop Your Pipes if they're going to take this round.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's just maybe some of the experience coming in for the players in Owl. You know, not to say that Pop Your Pipes don't have experience. I mean, obviously a lot of the players have been playing for a while, but just in terms of their combo, I think Tacos is relatively new to demo. I don't know who's calling for the team out. Uber gets used. There's a lot of fighting going on in this choke point. Right now, Blue's coming out better for it because they've been able to gather space, but they haven't been able to pressure the gun just yet. DZ Creeper tagged down low.
So close.
9.
Oh, he gets it.
Freelander, yeah, finds the rocket. They're able to cap the cart. We've got under 2 minutes left, but it's possible.
It's certainly possible. Micah wasn't able to get the double backstab. Great job. I just want to call out Lex there. Unappreciated scout. Getting the capture time, that is the only reason they have a chance right now, because his times 2. While all of that fight was happening, he pushed the objective. And what wins the games, ladies and gentlemen? The objective, not kills. So great job out of him. 1 minute, 38 seconds. And they have a chance coming in onto this final point. They have a huge Uber advantage as well. You just got to be careful not to drop players. Too aggressive.
Well,
and that's tough.
Well, yeah, as you're saying that, Moose does go down. I mean, it's offensive med. You're going to respawn quickly, but you have one chance to get Uber and push with it.
Get a chance.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, the cart's in a good spot. You have one chance with Uber. Can someone make a play onto DZ Creeper? Will someone on Owl make a mistake? Oh, Moose just went down again. Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna need to if they take down the sentry gun, maybe they have a chance. The medic, DZ not up yet, goes down. They need to take down this gun. That is what they need to do to win this cart. They have a lot of pressure onto the cart, but going on the cart right now doesn't matter. You're not gonna win it with a heavy and a sentry gun up. You need to take that down and then get pressure on the cart. They're losing too many players though.
Where's Moose
markers? Going? I don't know. He's trying to find his teams in upper, but he didn't realize they're not there. And Tacos is gonna go down. Joey on cart, but again, he's not going to be able to do much. Well, the level 3 is still there. And they're just suiciding in when they didn't need to. There's 20 seconds left in the clock. It takes 5 seconds to push this cart in. You just need to take control of the area, not be a lemming. And it's unfortunate as they might have just had an outside chance here in this final moments. to be able to take this win, but it looks like it is going to tick down in the favor of the Order of the White Lotus.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the panic sets in. You know the card's close, and I can just hear the mumble comms now because we've heard them 100 times. Like, card's close. Just go. Just get on the card. Just get on the card. And really, like you said, the best choice is to take a second, take a beat, get as many players as you can together, and call the focus fire on the gun. I don't know if Moose had switched Mediguns maybe to Quick Fix or even Vaccinate or something like that at the end when he knew he wasn't getting an Uber. It's small things for Pop Your Pipes. I think that they are a team where they could be a dark horse, a contender in this season, and it's rough to start things off with the 0-2 win. But this is stuff that can look good for them later on. But Owl, I think they were the favorite coming into it, and they just showed us why.
Yeah, they definitely earned that win, but I will, again, agree with you that I think Pop Your Pipes, anybody who's like, oh, well, this is just a game set from the start, like, not at all. Like, Pop Your Pipes, there's like critical moments throughout the game where it's like, if they just had one thing go their way, or their medic didn't die, or just a little bit better gameplay, or a little bit better positioning, they win this game. Like, if you look at the frags, they were only like about like 10 frags behind, like maybe a little bit more than that, like 16, but still like not that far off, right? And it's also always going to favor the team that, like is going to have a little bit of a better defense. But it's like one of these things where it's like, I thought Pop Your Pipes played a pretty good game, all things considered. And I mean, even towards the end there, when you were like, they don't have a chance, they completely had a chance. If Moose didn't die, if they didn't didn't kind of freak out at the end there, they could have won that and sent it into overtime. Like, this was certainly a game that they could have walked away with a W. It would have, taken a lot from them. But I'm excited to see, this is just the first week, what they can do in the rest of the season and see if they can earn one of those top 4 spots. I definitely think, as you said, like they're an outside dark horse, but like I could see it happening.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what I actually lost my train. Oh yeah, no, I brought it back. I remember what I was gonna say. But I think I was expecting Owl to be heavier in the frag department, like because of the names you have on the team. I thought it was gonna be not a roll, but obviously more in their favor with that. So it really did come down to the tactics, which were better from Owl, and Pop Your Pipes had a bit more struggles. So really good job from both teams, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go next.
For sure. And it looks like we have a few players joining us here from the winning team of the Order of the White Lotus. We got Daff as well as Michaelele, and I believe we're going to have one more joining us here shortly. It looks like we have Fallen as well. Welcome out, guys. Congratulations on your win. You're all fired from RGL.
Please. That's so toxic.
So it's okay. I'm the league admin. I can do what I want, right? That's something like that. No.
That's it. I'm making a TF2 first.
It's happening. It's happening, boys.
RGL. I'm freed.
It's happening. All right. Well, congratulations, Guy Daff. You had a really great game tonight. You felt like you just wanted to touch the sky as much as possible before you came back down. It felt like high bombs were a really big part of your game today. Do you like dunking on kids?
I do. If I had to say, I think I'm a bit of a dunk master. Shout outs to my boys on Dunk Masters.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I think you top fragged in both halves. I mean, what was the reason that you felt like you had a really strong game today, or what do you feel like kind of set it apart that you were able to have such a strong upward game? Because I feel like, soldier top fragging, not always the most common. What kind of set you apart in this match today that like felt that it led to success?
Honestly, I kind of just felt like I was following up on the rest of my team really well. A lot of the stuff I was going for was just off the back of my teammates. I wasn't really... I had some solo plays, but they were pretty rare.
And speaking of solo plays, Michaelele obviously had a bunch today. You had 2 medic picks on both offenses on the first point. What are you doing? How is this happening? How?
So, I don't know how it works, but I just remember I was hanging in Mumble with my good pal Def Joe, amazing spy main, shout out to him, and I think we might have been pugging, and he showed me that, and he was just like, he just said it always works no matter what, and so I just followed him. I just followed him and did the same thing, and it just always worked.
You know, it's just so crazy. People don't expect it, but you know, the thing that people do come to expect is falling on Sniper. Man, you had a very consistent game here today. I think you're like third in frags in the first round, and you're third again in the second round. Upward is a very favorable map to snipers, and it seems like you continue that trend, utilizing it to your favor. How did you feel in your first match here today?
Okay, so I was yelled at to not change my settings or sense or anything like that before the match. So for 3 days straight, I didn't change my mouse or my in-game inches per 360, and I practiced. Actually, no, I reviewed some VODs from Yosh on YouTube and Bowser 5, like old snipers that had their VODs on Upward. I was like, let me see how they played this, and I tried to incorporate some of it. The way Giraffe plays, I tried to play to enable him on this map on offense, and on defense, I just played like to stay alive and help him deny areas, and I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it really seemed like you guys were doing a good job. I mean, creating space. I mean, Fallen, you were getting a lot of pick. Staff was kind of creating space behind, as well as with Micah. You guys actually had that really sick 1-2 combo in that second half, Daff and Micah, where your team lost the second point, but like no one bothered to clear out tunnel or help out their team, and you guys single-handedly just completely shut that down and probably saved your guys, 30 to 40 seconds. I mean, what's your comms like behind the scenes when you guys are working like that? Is that a kind of more of an intuitive thing, or are you guys actually like working out like when you're gonna kind of be making those plays together?
I said, Michaelele, stop baiting me and decloak on this engineer, and Michaelele said, okay, bet. And then we killed the engineer and scout, and they didn't push cart.
Yeah, on first, when Micah was getting the stab in the second half, everyone was like trying to coordinate a push, a drive push, and then Micah interrupted everyone. He was like, all right, boys, it is time. And then we just see the med get stabbed in the kill feed, and he's like, it works every time.
It works every time.
I don't know how you do it.
I got a question, and I think something that our chat wanted to know too. How did DZ Creeper get 5 kills in the first half? Does anyone?
The pan.
The pan.
All right, so I have some unique insight to this situation. So DZ Creeper dies in tiles. He respawns. He's by our main on last. Okay, he's sitting in the room. He says for about 20 seconds straight, somebody come play with me. He's dead in comms. He's dying inside, and the entire time he's just shooting arrows and getting kills. It was epic.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love to see. I said it during the cast, but I like to see someone that can do both. Dual threat medic.
That's exactly what you want to see. Well, you guys have taken your first win of the season. Out of curiosity, I'm kind of curious, where do you guys think you're going to finish the season at? What do you think your final rank is going to be going into playoffs? Not after playoffs, going into playoffs. Where do you think you're going to do you think guys are going to make playoffs, and what rank do you think you're going to get into it?
It's really hard right now because everyone's been beating each other for at least Upward. When we were scrimming and looking at logs of other teams to see how they were doing in their scrims, everyone was losing to everyone. Like for example, we scrimmed imposters and we would lose to them, and then we would scrim Figsy and then beat Figsy, and Figsy we would scrim them again and lose to them, and then we would scrim the Krusty Krab team of Nixie, Logan, and Demento Kresnik, and they would roll us, and then they would lose to Figsy, right? So it's like really confusing. We don't really know, but we do think we'll make playoffs, but I don't know what spot we would actually stand.
Well, I look forward to you guys being able to get to that spot. Box, anything you have left?
No, not really. I mean, great job there, guys. It was not an easy game, although you guys won a 2-0, so I think that says a lot that you're able to kind of keep the pressure on. And I'm excited to see what you guys are going to continue to do. Like you said, I probably a lot of parity this season, which always bodes well for our viewers and production alike.
That should be an exciting season. Daff, any shout outs you want to give?
Like to give a big shout out to all of my Sixes div admins: Boxcar, Macavis, Patrick, Dubthink, Denka, Haku, Fordo. Oh god, I hope Zoomzy. I better not be forgetting anyone right now or I'm gonna feel really bad. But I think that's everyone.
Nice. Fallen?
There's a lot of people, but I would shout out Shay for always being a close friend that I can confide in, even though he has made a clown of himself sometimes in the forums, but that's all good. Melon actually is like, she has saved me so many times from like spies and bombers. It is insane, and she's really loud too. Like when there's a spy decloaking, my eardrums like rumble. Shout out to Zoe Cinder. He's a real good friend of mine. He's always, if you ask him about TF2, he hates playing it, but he always like will roster on teams to play with me. So I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'll shout Baskel because Shay wants me to shout Baskel. Season 19. I'll shout out Denny. I scrimmed Denny on Sunday, I believe, and he rang for imposters today. Dude, Denny is actually nuts. Like, I hope he can play consistently this season.
Well,
my last shout out will probably
one more. Yeah.
It'll just be Yosh because I watched a lot of his upward mods to prepare for today. Or no, just one. Like the one Kamangla reviewed, and I was like trying to replicate that. But yeah.
Nice. Always fun to see, kind of the you guys revealing your secrets of how you learn to get here, because I think that's one of the things players got to remember is the good players, they don't stay in the good spots without a little bit of practice and keep their tools sharp. Micah, what do you got for me?
So I actually want to give a shout out to Jeff Joe for teaching me the funny sack on first, but I also want to give a shout out to the team I mentor, Worst Comp Format in Maine. They had a very tough match tonight against Door, or all the older players of Door, and they actually managed to come out 2-0, and now I owe them all Subway. So shout out to those guys, especially BBL and Applezoo. Love you guys. Good win tonight.
You can't. I'm sorry, you can't talk about Subway if we're not a sponsor. Get your $5 foot long.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Yeah. I owe them in a franchise sandwich from a certain place near my house. There we go.
With bread. All right,
with
Vox.
bread and.
What do you got for me?
Oh no! I mean, shout out the teams. Shout out you for having me, and I'll leave the biggest shout out to you, and I think you know who that is.
Biggest shout out to our boy Dolphin, always crushing it behind the scenes. People loving the camera angles that he's giving out. Guys, toss some hearts out into chat if you like what he's doing. You know what you should do? You should go to that Patreon. Maybe toss him $1. Maybe toss him $1 and say thank you. Thank you for what you do. I love you. Something, I want to ride with you in the water. Like whatever it is, right? You can write a little thank you message in your Patreon. Go toss it down there. Toss him $1. Say thanks for everything he does. Because all this stuff on the screen you're seeing right now, that's Dolphin. You saw all the stuff he's doing. He's doing so much inside of RGL. He is amazing. You should help him out. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. My final shout out, I guess just a big shout out to everybody in the RGL staff. We had a big staff meeting not too long ago. It was really cool to see, all different departments getting hyped up about our automated pug system that will be coming out in the not too distant future with Highlander and Sixes. It's going to be hype. And I think with that, we can leave it off there. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I'm Sikifu, joined here with Voxay to my side, Dolphin behind the scenes. This has been week 1 matchup of Pop Your Pipes versus the Order of the White Lotus. Congratulations again to White Lotus for their week 1 victory. And that's going to be it. Have a great rest of your night.